It is September 10, 2025, and not this night, but the other night, between 9 and 10 September, in the night there, I got a strange visitors. I knew who it was, but it was so strange way that he come to me, because it was nothing I saw uh, uh, in a body. There was no body, and it was no, didn't heard him talking either. But I got him in my mind, and I was thinking that I tried to fall to sleep, because it was just in that time when I was on my way to fall to sleep, and I had hard to fall to sleep, but I was thinking, if I try to get, my brain is like after the car accident, that as soon as I lay me down and close my eyes, then I fall to sleep. But this night wasn't it not like that. And I was, I know he was there in my mind, and I know who it was. And then I fall to sleep, and but I wake up 1 hour after, very quick after, and but I was thinking he was gone, but still he was there in my mind. So I know who he was, but I didn't see any face or body, or he was not speaking to me, but he was in my mind. And I have been together with many men in my life before God come and changed that, but I still had some men after God have come. In my walk as homeless, I was hoping that the man should like me, and we should be together in United States. And so I was with some men when I was homeless. And but this man, it's the only man that I have really loved. And it seems like he loved me also. It was a very strange relationship we had. I met him at my work, the only real work I have had for men, and it was about nuclear plant, the nuclear fuels to nuclear plants I was working with. And but I'm glad that I was away from my job very much, because my son was a young child, and he was sick many times, especially when he had been with his father, and his father was to my son's grandparents, and they fed him so much. So he was sick every time he come home after have been a weekend with his father, and I have to stay home. And but he was there, and this man, and he was working in another building, but it was often that he came over to our building. He was an engineer. I think it's in English that name. He was educated in nuclear plants. And so he had a nice paid job, but I had also a good paid job, because that is the only time relatives to me have helped me. And I got the job where my aunt's husband, he was one of their boss, their highest boss in ASEA Atom, I think it's called Bronzorius, something like that today. It have changed name. But my aunt's husband, he traveled all over the world in this company, and because he did rules about how to build the nuclear plants all over the world. So, and my aunt, she owned many restaurants, so they were very, very rich and in money. And they for some reason, they helped me to get a job, and I got a very good job. I earned 3 times more than an ordinary industry worker did. That's why I could buy me my first computer, and it was very, very expensive to buy the first computers. ABC 80 computer did I bought. And it was, I have to bought it in a store for electric equipment, because the owner of this store, he needed to order it. He didn't sell computer like today. There's lots of computers. It was to order one that they put together, and then he got it and sell it to me. And so he was there, this man, and he sit there and drink coffee and look at me. As soon as I was working, and soon as I felt like someone is looking at me, and there was he. And then one day we drink coffee together, a big group of people were sitting there, and he said that I need to have rent an apartment in this city. I can't live with other friends. I need to have my own apartment in this city, he said. And then, but I said to him that you can live together with me, I said to him. And that was the first time we find each other. when he look at me and say, "You have a place for me, I take it," he said to me. And our eyes was open, and I was in love immediately. It was a real love meeting. And then he come home to me sometimes. I live on the ground, so it was easy for him because it was the door was locked on our house, maybe after 10 o'clock. And sometimes he was standing at my balcony and knock on my windows. And it was so much love when I saw him. And I let him in. And I don't know. This is a love story I talk about today. I don't know if you have had that kind of relationship that we should have sexual things together, he and I, but the love stopped us. I think it was impossible to do it between him and me. It was so much love, so the love took over the sexual things. It was very strange. We try, but we couldn't. I understood about him because he was engaged with a girl where he really lived. He was away from where he lived and working in this with a nuclear fuel. So that can make him to not could have sex because he felt guilty about it. But I had not that. I was single, and I didn't have anything. But I have it also that I couldn't feel it. It was love that took over the whole thing. And maybe some of you can know what it is because you have the same, I think. I don't know because I am not talking about this with someone else, about love that take away the sexual things. So that in that way it answered this, that they are not going together. Those two things is different from each other. You can have sex with someone without being in love with that person. And this was the opposite, that love was so much in us. And I talked to him about this, if we couldn't live together, he and I. And he told me that he was engaged. And he said that I have 10 brothers, and they expect me to marry this woman because she have a big factory. Her father have a big factory. They are very, very rich, he say. And I can't go back to my family and say I break up because I have met someone else. And then in that time I was also drinking very much alcoholic. And but we were, I think I was about 24, and I was 24 and he was 23. He was some month younger than me, so we were very close in age also. And then he drove a motorbike, and I love motorbikes. And I was excited that he had a motorbike. He did come every time to me on a motorbike. So he had this with a helmet and leather clothes on. And so it was very interesting. But then one day I told him that you have to make up your mind. I said to him, either are you moving in with me and broke up with your girlfriend at home, and or else I say to him, I'm going to move away so you can never find me again. I say to him, you have to make up your mind. I don't want to share you with someone else. And he couldn't make up his mind because that was about the money. It was not about the love. And then also I was drinking, so he maybe thought I should never stop drinking. And so we split up, he and I. And I was very heavy in my heart. It was so very sad. I miss him so much. But then I met another man, and I moved in together with him. And I had my son, and the life was going on. And then I, of some reason, I find out that his wife have died. And it was because, now I remember, I saw him in like a dating website. No, there was his picture, and he was old. He was over 50 years old when I saw the picture. But as many men and women also, they put in some younger picture. So it was good because I remember how he looked like. So I saw it was him, and he was widow, and I start to talk to him, and I am so thankful that I could tell him how much I loved him when we were together, and I told him secret things that I used to go down where the men change clothes. When the man was not around, then I go down in that room, and I knew his perfume, the aftershave perfume he had, and I go in with my nose in his clothes and smell him, even if he was not there. And I told him about everything, and I have been looking for him in many years. I have followed him the whole time, and I knew he had a wife and he had kids, so I didn't want to disturb these things. But I knew where he was the whole time, and so one day I was thinking he must be on Facebook like I. It was in that time when everyone was on Facebook. It's not like that today. And I find him because he have a special sort of name, mixed name. So if I say his name, some people maybe can know who it is. So he was easy to find on Facebook. And then when I come to his Facebook, it says, in the memory of, and he had died. And I be shocked because he was not old, and I talked to him in the telephone when I find him on the dating site, and I say, "You are single now. Can't we come together, you and I say to him. But he said that I want to be with my grandkids now and be for them. So I don't think we should meet, he say. And it maybe, I maybe hurt him because he maybe make up his mind and come back to me, but I have moved away. And that I will never know. But he said that I am going to be with my grandkids and not be together with a new woman, he said to me. And then I saw he have died. And he died just when he got his retirement. Just in that year where he should be free and could do whatever he wanted to do. And he had lots of money because he had been working with high up in the industry, not in nuclear plant anymore, but he was on paper mills as a boss there. And so he could do many things now, being retired, and only get money every month and not need to work. And then he was killed. And I was only sad about that he had died. So it was end of our relationship that could have been a relationship. And I was only sad about it. But then now he came through as not like the other spirits that are coming through. It was only a mind feeling that was. So I went up in the night when I have only been sleeping 1 hour, and then I was thinking that it must be a message for me that why did he come through? I accept that he come through one time, and that maybe have been a dream I had. But then after 1 hour he come back again in my mind. And I was thinking that it must be something he want to tell me. And that was very hard, but I tried to find out of how he died. I was thinking the whole time that he maybe got a heart attack. That's many in older age. He was not very old when he died, but he maybe had that. But it was like I find his in the newspaper about that he have died, and it says the family to him, they say that it went so quick, so we couldn't say goodbye to you. And then I paid to read a magazine, a newspaper on that date when he died. But it says only that he passed away very quick in an accident. And today I was thinking that he always drove his motorbike, and this was in August, so it was season for the motorbikes. But I have not found how he died more than in an accident and not in an illness. And that the family say it did go so quick. And so I'm going, I know the date when he died, and he died just when I had this a car accident that a car drove over me, and he died in that moment when I was driven over by a car. It was very strange to see it. So he died in 2018. And so I'm going to try to find it out in some way. Maybe I need to send a page in a newspaper what it was about this accident, what it was about, because it seems like he wants me to know the whole story about it. And I'm thinking about this, that he, I don't think it was he that come down to me and kiss me. But I think it must have been something special why he come to me after 7 years, and then he coming to me. I know 7 is a special number where it's like a part of a life, 7 years part. 7 years part. It's when you be born and you are 7 years old. You go to school and learn to read and these things. 7 more year is where you are 14, 15 years old, and you be confirmed in the church. You meet a boyfriend, and 7 years adding to that. That's where most people going to be married. It's 7 years. It's going like that. And 7 years after marriage, you have your kids. And so it maybe have some symbolic with that he comes through now. It is maybe 7 years and 2 months since he died. But it seems like it is some kind of love from him as he come to me, into my mind. I am not thinking about him in 7 years. I have thinking sometimes that it was sad that he died when he just should be retired, working the whole life, and then when he could make something else than working, then he died. And he is the only man I have really loved. But I don't get really confirm that he loved me, but it seems like he loved me because he come back now. I can maybe think like that for myself, that he showed me that he loved me, and be okay with that. But it's a very sad story. And I wanted to tell you this, that he come through in another way. He was only there in my mind, and I couldn't fall to sleep. And then when after a long time to be me falling to sleep, then I only sleep 1 hour and wake up and had he inside my mind again. And so it must have been something. And it can be something that is coming through, that I maybe get a message from this man more, because it seems like he had just could come through. He have not could make it before, after 7 years. And it's okay with me, because he was not the man I should have in my life, because he couldn't make up his mind. And he maybe make up his mind, but too late. I was gone. And I don't think that he waiting for me in that way in heaven. Because I don't know, but in this, the family, obviously, it's the name of it in English, obesity, that it's talking about a dead person, and it doesn't say anything about God or religion, or it didn't even have a cross on it. It was a motorbike on his announcement, but that was not him that wrote it. He maybe believed in God. We never could talk like that, he and I. Because he was, when I talked to him in the telephone, he was very negative to meet me again. And so he didn't really confirm. But heaven maybe confirmed that it was some kind of love that he had for me. But he chose to not let his brother be angry at him, and that he chose that he could never come back to the family place, because everyone knew who he was, and he couldn't return if he had failed with me. So that was a very big decision for him. But I couldn't wait for him in that way, that I didn't want to be the second wife for him. I needed to move on in my life, and he had to stand with that decision he made to be with her. And so I need to, I'll see if I can find it out. I think I maybe can reach an archive where they store old newspaper in, but I don't live close to where he lived. It's far away between us, the newspaper and where I live. So it's hard to find out what really happened. But I know it was some kind of accident, and he was killed instantly, as they couldn't say goodbye to him. It was instantly death, and that I'm thankful for him, that he could go away very quick and not suffering anything. I think it was when he ride his motorbike where he was killed. He loved motorbikes, and that was also become his death. So in some way he was in this love to drive his motorbike when he died. So that's the love story between him and me, and I will never get a husband here on earth, and I will not get any husband in heaven. It will be that I am in God's throne room, and in heaven we don't marry, but we are in different groups of spirits. So I belong to that kind of spirit that is in God's throne room, and those in the out in the meadow, they are together there. They are not allowed to come into the city, and there is people that is in the city, but they are not allowed to go into God's throne room. There are many mansions in heaven, and they are not coming together. But it did one time when my grandmother come and disturb my mother and me when we were talking up in heaven. And my grandmother come into my mother's time when she lived. Because my grandmother, I have told you this before, but my grandmother, she didn't know anything about computers because she died in 1964, and my mother died 1990. So my mother knew a little about computers, and that was computer that my grandmother saw when she come forward when I was in heaven, and she asked me what it was, those machines, and because she didn't know computers. So I know she was in wrong time layer. There is many layers in heaven. We are not going to be in one place, everyone. There is many mansions, and though there is mansions that is like levels. So when that year that a person have died in that years, it may be like one generation or half generation that is in one layer, and another layer have those other, and they don't really meet each other. They live together as a big family because they were from the same time when they passed away. But it's very hard to understand, but in heaven there is only one day. But everyone is in one day, even if they are in different layers, different years they have passed away. So it's like a big storehouse where people live, and no one is coming down in an elevator. They are staying in that department, that layers they are in that house, and they never come down. But my grandmother could take her out. My grandmother did it, but I think it's not so many that do it. But she come through and she broke up my mother and I when we were talking, and then she took over my grandmother for a little second for me to have this knowledge that she didn't meet my mother. She only looked at in this room that was on my mother's layers, but she never saw my mother, or else have she say something. But she asked me what those machine was in those room that was she saw. It's very hard for you to understand what I'm talking about. I think it's only you that have followed me from the start that can start to understand what I'm talking about. It's hard when people only come in and listen at one episode and they don't know anything what I'm talking about. Like that young boy or the boy that asked me why are you talking to yourself? But I talk to you that listen. I don't talk out to myself. I talk to you on the other side of internet connection. So thank you for listening, and it's very confusing this, what was happened. But I think I get an answer later on what was going on there. So thank you and God bless you.